Those of you who know me know that I love Webtoons. Ever since day one, I've been the biggest Webtoon fan of all time. I just find them so fun to read and so What the? Jack Midoriya, what are you doing here?
You liar! You said scrolling comics are the single biggest downgrade to the comic book of its entire history! I never said that. I never said that.
The invention of the Webtoon format is the single biggest downgrade to the comic book of its entire history.
A few months ago, I made a video talking about how I thought the Webtoon scrolling comic format is ugly, limiting, and a major downgrade from page-formatted comics. But what you have to understand about this video is that it's kind of a steaming pile of shit. It's all over the place, my rhetoric sucks, and overall I present the case as far less nuanced than it actually is. So today we're getting back into it. We're doing a little mini deep dive into comic formats and discussing the overall problem with this whole debate. Come on, let's go! Okay, first of all, what are comics? Juxtaposed pictorial and other images in deliberate sequence intended to convey information and/or to produce an aesthetic response in the viewer. That's from Scott McCloud's Understanding Comics. Comics are typically collections of sequential narrative illustrations, and comic formats are the different ways we delineate the space on which we place these illustrations. Now, we've got two options in discussion: the page format and the scrolling phone format. So which is better? Let's start with pages. Standard manga pages are A4 size 1.4:1 ratio uniform rectangular segments. These segments create a standardized canvas for paneling compositions, and artists just go nuts with them. You can have one big panel to emphasize an important moment, or have a bunch of tiny panels for exposition or to create tension. You can offset them or have characters bursting out of them, but no matter how chaotic things get, you always know you're going from here to here. The downside is that pages create an inescapable divide every few seconds of reading where your eyes have to jump. But while the barrier between pages causes a small moment of discontinuity for the reader, it also serves as a valuable tool for pacing. This abstract gap between pages can mean different things, becoming a versatile tool good comic artists use to their advantage. On the other hand, we have scrolling comics. Rather than separate chunks of panels like page-formatted comics, it's designed to be one continuous, seamless experience. Its single image orientation allows the eyes to flow without needing to jump from one place to another and can remain that way until the end of the story. This effect strongly increases clarity. There's never any guesswork involved in where to look, and because the vertical axis is uncapped, artists can put as much space as they need between panels for the story to flow the way they want it to, or extend panels downward for dramatic effect. The caveat is that the limited horizontal axis often incentivizes large blank spaces between panels, and these blank spaces are often extremely pervasive, which, combined with uninspired art styles and cookie-cutter-ass plots, makes a lot of scrolling comics feel cheap and disposable. However, this is where things get a lot more complicated and contextual. First of all, in theory, it's great to compare these two comic formats, but in practice, it's kind of ridiculous to compare these two real publishing mediums. On sites like Webtoon, anyone can upload anything, versus the manga industry, which makes artists ruthlessly compete over a few limited spots. Obviously, the average quality on Webtoon will be significantly worse than manga. It's like comparing book publishing companies with Wattpad. But by far, the strongest, most educated criticism of the Webtoon problem isn't on Webtoon, nor is it in my comment section or on YouTube at all. While I was researching for this video, I stumbled across the personal website of none other than Scott McCloud. Yup, he's the guy that coined the term infinite canvas. And wouldn't you know it, he has an article on Infinite Canvas comics that he made 13 years before my video, in which he provides a detailed list of clear advantages of infinite canvases over page-formatted comics. And then, he proceeds to directly call out haters of infinite scrolling comics and completely fucking annihilate them. Reproducing old limitations out of habit serves no purpose other than making us feel comfortable in the delusion that nothing has changed. Fucking bars, hello? This man was destroying my argument through time and space from 2009. Scott McCloud is an ascended god, and ordinarily, that would be the end of it. But here's the thing, this whole debate rests on the assumption that one format is objectively better, but I've come to realize that both formats have pros and cons and incredible potential to create beauty. At the end of the day, it's just a matter of personal aesthetic preference. And I want to make it clear, I still do completely prefer the page format over the scrolling format. And honestly, it just boils down to the fact that it fosters clear compositional structures. Comic pages are uniquely beautiful to me. I find that by forcing panels to fit evenly into distinct, uniform spaces, the natural byproduct is these very pretty, balanced arrangements. Good paneling is good cinematography, and pages frame collections of panels into digestible bits of prose. If panels are the syntax of comics, pages are the paragraphs. And likewise, the danger of scrolling comics is that they often feel metaphorically like a run-on sentence. That's pretty much it. Hey, isn't this animation sick as hell? Well, guess what? I made a new channel where I'm gonna be posting animations like this, where I talk about more general topics that interest me beyond why Vagabond's art style makes me touch my wiener. So you should definitely go subscribe to that channel right now, because it's gonna be like 10 times better than this channel. I got plans that I cannot share with you right now because the haters will sabotage me, okay? Don't worry, I'll still post to this channel as everyone's favorite manga art style glazer. But yeah, go subscribe to the animation channel. Alright, enough yapping. Love y'all, peace!